Did you know that the tossing arm on your serve can not only help you with consistency and accuracy, but ultimately help you improve your serve power? The non-dominant tossing arm plays a crucial role amongst all sports that require a throwing motion. Now, to quote Gavin McMillan, who helped Sabalenka improve her serve, who went on to win the Australian Open earlier this year, baseball pitchers use the non-dominant arm to help them to direct their pitches. The difference is baseball pitching is a downward motion, where tennis serving is an upward motion. Neglecting the tossing arm can lead to inconsistencies and poor performance. Therefore, it's crucial that you pay proper attention to the tossing arm to help you to improve both accuracy and serve power. So what should the tossing arm be doing? So let's start from the beginning. You'll see with most great players, the tossing arm will start down by their leg. They'll then go really slowly in the beginning, where they lift from the shoulder with a straight tossing arm. Around about eye level, they simply open the hand where they release the ball. As the ball travels up, the tossing arm continues to travel all the way up, where it's almost straight up and down. Now you'll see how they hold the tossing arm up for a split second. Now what happens next? The tossing arm should stay on the same side as the hitting side. So in other words, if you're a right-handed player, it should stay on the right side of your body. Notice here how the hitting hand is almost replacing the tossing hand. Now your hitting hand tends to follow your non-hitting hand. So if your hitting hand falls into the court, which was happening to Sabalenka, or falls to the side, the weight and the momentum of this will pull your body and pull your swing, preventing you from going shoulder over shoulder and hitting up and out, ultimately affecting your accuracy, your consistency, and your serve power. Now your goal should not only be to have a powerful serve, you also want to have a powerful, reliable weapon. At the end of this video, I'm going to show you some drills you can do to help you to work on that non-hitting hand. But let's first take a look at some of the best players, and what's amazing is if you take a look at where the tossing hand gets to, the highest point, you can almost drop a line directly down. And as they swing up to contact, the tossing hand almost traces down that line and ends up being almost beneath the hitting hand at contact. This allows them to swing up and out, but also to have more consistency with their swing path. Now in this position, when the tossing arm bends into the body, it acts as a reactive brake, meaning it stops the trunk rotation for a moment at impact. That way the hitting arm can now gain speed and accelerate. You'll see with a lot of great players, their tossing arm almost stays in position for a couple of frames before they release the arm, almost like they're going arm over arm. This ensures that the tossing arm falling to the side does not negatively affect the ball flight. Now unfortunately, when people watch players like Andy Murray or Dominic Thiem, they think that they're dropping the tossing arm down to the side and behind them. What they don't see when we slow things down is that they tuck that tossing arm into the body. It stays there for a moment until the ball is gone before then release the arm and it flares back behind them. That way it does not affect what happens to the ball. And this is not something I recommend for recreational players or young developing juniors, because these athletes are highly skilled and highly trained, and it takes a lot of extra timing. So what's important to note is what they're actually doing at contact, and that's what you want to look to copy. Now that you have a good idea of what the tossing arm should be doing and the role it plays, there's also a very important timing component to this, of when it all happens. So if you look at the best players of the world, they get their tossing arm all the way up. Their body's fully loaded and coiled. Now as they begin to drive from the ground up, they drive to the legs. Notice how the rear hip starts to rotate upwards and the hitting elbow starts to come around and up. As this happens, look how the tossing arm sort of comes together, almost like an action-reaction, almost like the elbows are kind of kissing. So as the hitting elbow comes around, the tossing elbow folds and bends into the body. Now remember, the non-throwing arm, or in this case the tossing arm, acts as a reactive brake. It stops the front side from rotating so that the hitting arm or throwing arm can gain more speed and acceleration. Okay, so that's a lot of information, but hopefully you now understand the crucial role that the tossing arm plays on your serve, what should be happening and when it should be happening. But most importantly, how do you now apply this and implement it in your own serve? So the next few minutes, I'm going to show you a series of drills and progressions to show you how you can add this to your own serve without having to overthink it. So here are 3 progressive drills to help you get the feeling and timing of this. Now, if you find you're having difficulty when adding the ball, I will give you 2 more progressions at the end of this. So the first one, I want you to think that you are climbing a ladder. Now, be careful, you're not climbing the ladder and turning forward, because you'll see how my shoulders are rotating level, horizontal. I want you to think you climb that ladder sideways, so your hitting shoulder rotates up and over the non-hitting shoulder, right? Really important. The other thing is, don't think of bringing the arm down, think of using that tossing arm to pull yourself up. Think of bringing the elbow towards your stomach, so the elbow is on the hitting side and it doesn't appear on the non-hitting side. This is a common problem you see, so very often you want to do this in front of a mirror or at least film yourself. So you got this tossing arm up, and think of pulling yourself up and grabbing the next rung of the ladder. You see how my hitting shoulder rotates up over the non-hitting shoulder. Let's take a look from the side here. So you have this nice angle here, and then it switches as I pull myself up. So look from behind. See how the hitting hand remains on the hitting side. So I'm pulling myself, elbow to the stomach. See how the hand's still present on this side. You don't see the elbow appearing over here, right? So that's the first drill you can do. Then just get a little more feel for it. You can attach a TheraBand like this up to a fence. Now in the second progression, try to grab the TheraBand as high as you can. Get into a fully loaded position. From here, you're going to pull yourself up, and you'll kind of feel some resistance there as the tossing arm comes in towards your body. So you're going to pull yourself up, trying to remain slightly sideways. And notice how my hitting hand is almost replacing the tossing hand, and the tossing hand is just tracing a line downwards, staying on the hitting side of the body. Now for the third and final progression, you can start to add the ball, but first do a few shadow swings where you're thinking of going hitting arm over tossing arm. We say arm over arm. Do a couple of shadows, and you can try that then while serving. Let's see one more like that. Now if you find that it is breaking down and you're unable to do it, then I'm going to show you 2 more drills to help you work in a progressive way so that you can now effectively add this to your serve. So first use some shadow swings where you're going to first think of going wrist to wrist, where the hitting wrist goes over the non-hitting wrist. From here, the second thing, you're going to go arm over arm, hitting arm over tossing arm. I want you to think that your chest is pointing slightly to the right if you're right-handed. You don't want to be over-rotated. Right, so watch that again. I'm going to shadow wrist to wrist, arm over arm. Now be careful, don't get tight. Just try to be relaxed. Now when it comes to hitting, now I've yet to have somebody actually hit their wrist, so please don't prove me wrong, but toss the ball up and think wrist over wrist and arm over arm. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it and you found it informative, please share it with your friends and post any questions and comments you have below this video, and have a great day.